Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello students, we were dealing with the chapter Some Basic Concepts of Chemistry, in which we have studied what is a scientific notation. Scientific notation is a method to write the very large numbers and very small numbers in a very easy manner. That is, we have written it this way, n into 10 to the power n, where capital letter N is called a digit term whose value ranges from 1.0002 to 9.999, and small letter n is exponent. This is what we have learnt in the previous class. Today what shall we learn is mathematical operations of these scientific notations. Mathematical operations. In mathematical operations, what are we going to learn? We are going to learn addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of numbers expressed in scientific notation. First, let us do addition. Let us take addition. While doing addition of the numbers expressed in scientific notation, first powers or exponents are made same. In case exponents are same, then there is no problem. If exponents or powers are different, then they have to be made same. After that, digit terms are added. Digit terms are added. Then, after adding digit term, answer obtained is multiplied by power of 10, which is common. Understand? You will be given scientific notation. First you have to see whether powers of 10 are same or different. If the powers are same, then there is no problem at all. If powers are different, then you have to convert the powers into same. Then add the digit terms and multiply the answer by the power of 10. Let's have one example. Let's take an example. Example, I'll take it this way. Number given is 6.65 into 10 to the power 4 plus 8.95 into 10 to the power 3. Look at this number. The first number is 6.65 into 10 to the power 4. Second one is 8.95 into 10 to the power 3. Here there are two digit terms. One is a 6.65, another one is 8.95. Look at the powers now. You have 10 to the power 4 here. In another term you have 10 to the power 3. Means powers are not same. In this case you cannot add the numbers. First you have to make the powers the same. How? By shifting the decimal point in the digit term. Other day you have studied, if you shift the decimal point to the left side, power of 10 will be positive. If you shift the decimal point to the right side, power of 10 will be negative. What I can do is, Either I can convert the first term where power I can make as 10 to the power 3. Keeping the second term power same. Or what I can do is, let me keep the first term as it is. In the second term, make the power of 10 as 10 to the power 4. So either you can have 10 to the power 4 in both the terms, or you can have 10 to the power 3 in both the terms. Now what will I do? I will convert it this way. I'll keep the first term as it is, 6.65 into 10 to the power 4. I'll keep it as it is. Second term, I'll shift this decimal point 1 digit to the left. If you shift the decimal point to the left side, power of 10 will be positive. I am shifting this decimal point 1 digit to the left, means power of 10 is added by 1. So the number will be 0.895 into 10 to the power 4. Now look at both the terms. Powers are made same. In both the terms you have 10 to the power 4. Now what next? Add the digit terms. So let me add the digit term 6.65 plus 0.895. These terms must be added. Answer is multiplied by common power. What is the common power? 10 to the power 4. Here also 10 to the power 4. Hence answer is multiplied by 10 to the power 4. Now let's add these numbers. When you add these numbers, what do you get? If you want, you can add this way, 6.65 plus 0.895. So when you add these, what do you get is, add these, answer is multiplied by 10 to the power 4. When you add these, the answer what you get is 5 and 0, 5. 9 plus 5 is 14. 1 remaining, 8 plus 6 is 14, plus 1 remaining is 5. 6 and 1 is 7. So answer is 7.545 into 10 to the power 4. So this is how you are going to do the addition whenever you are given the terms in the form of scientific notation. Next, let us study how to do subtraction when numbers are given in the form of scientific notation. Whenever you have to do subtraction, it is done very similar to that of the addition. Here also, if powers are same, then there is no problem. If powers of 10 or exponents are not same, they are made same first. Powers are made same. Then once the powers are same, digit terms are subtracted. From the larger digit term, subtract the smaller digit term. Then answer obtained is multiplied by the power of 10. Power of 10. Power of 10 will be common. By that common power of 10, multiply the answer. Let's have one example. Let me take, number it this way. 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 3 minus 4.8 into 10 to the power minus 4. Let's have these numbers. Look at the numbers you have here. Here, powers are not same. Powers are made same by shifting the decimal point to the left side or right side in any one of the digit term. Here I'll keep the first term as it is. So first term 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 3. I'll keep it as it is. Minus. Here power is 10 to the power minus 4 in the second digit term. So what will I do is, I'll shift the decimal point one digit to the left side. When I do this, the number what I get is 0.48 into 10 to the power minus 3. Why? Because when you shift the decimal point one digit to the left, it will become 10 to the power plus 1. Look at here, what happens is 10 to the power minus 4 is already there. I have shifted one decimal point to the left side. So plus 1 is added to the power. 10 to the power minus 4 and plus 1 becomes 10 to the power minus 3. So it is 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 3 minus 0.48 into 10 to the power minus 3. Why? Because minus 4 plus 1 is minus 3. Now look at both the terms. Powers are same. 10 to the power minus 3. So let me write it this way. 2.5 minus 0.48 into 10 to the power minus 3. I can write like this because here powers are same. When the powers are same, subtract the digit terms, where larger number subtracts the smaller number. 2.5 is the larger number, 0.48 is the smaller number. Now let's do subtraction. 2.5 minus 0.48. 2.5 means 2.50 it is, into 10 to the power minus 3. Now 2.50, here I will take one digit. 10 minus 8 is 2. Here 4 remaining. Here what is remaining is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. 0.2 minus 0 is 2. So 2.02 into 10 to the power minus 3. So this is how you are going to do the subtraction. Remember, whenever you do addition or subtraction, first you have to check that whether exponents are same. If they are not same, then make it same by shifting the decimal point in any one of the digit terms. After that, add the digit terms or subtract the digit terms and multiply the answer by the power of 10 or exponent, which is common for the both numbers which are added or subtracted. So this is about mathematical operation, where we have studied about addition and subtraction of scientific notations. Now next let us study about the multiplication and division. So next mathematical operation, third one, is multiplication. Third one is multiplication. How to do multiplication? Whenever numbers are given in the form of scientific notation, first multiply the digit terms. Multiply the digit terms and then add the powers of 10. Add the powers of 10. See, multiplication is very simple. Whenever numbers are given to you, whatever is the exponent, add them, add the powers of 10 and multiply the digit terms. Let's have an example. Let's have example this way. 5.6 into 10 to the power 5 into 2.2 into 10 to the power 8. 2.2 into 10 to the power 8. Students, whenever you do the mathematical operations, you can make use of a simple calculator. Scientific calculator is not allowed. Or if you are not using calculator, you can multiply the numbers manually. Let's multiply the numbers. Which numbers are multiplied? Digit terms. 5.6 into 2.2. Then powers of 10 are added. Here power of 10 in the first term is 10 to the power 5. In the second term it is 10 to the power 8. So powers of 10 added means 10 to the power 5 plus 8. Powers are added. Digit terms are multiplied. Let's multiply digit term. 5.6 into 2.2. Answer what you get is 1232. Here there is decimal point. After decimal point you have one digit. Here after decimal point you have one digit. So 2 digits after decimal point. Answer is 12.32 into 10 to the power 5 plus 8 is 13. So answer is 12.32 into 10 to the power 13. If you want, you can check the answer. Let's do the multiplication. If you want, I'll go in detail. 5.6 into 2.2, answer is 2 6 are 12, 1 remaining, 2 5 are 10, so 11. Similarly, 2 6 are 12, 2 5 are 10, 1 remaining is 11. So 2, 3, 2, 1. Here there are decimal point. After decimal point there is one digit in both the digit terms. So it is 12.32. 10 to the power 5 plus 10 to the power 8 is 10 to the power 13. See, this is how you have to do the calculation. So final answer is 12.32 into 10 to the power 13. If you want, you can write the answer this way by shifting the decimal point. 1 point, I'll shift one decimal point to the left. 1.232 into 10 to the power 14. See, I shifted one decimal point, one digit to the left. So power of 10 is added by 1. Hence it is 1.232 into 10 to the power 14. So this is about the multiplication. Multiplication is very simple, students. Multiply the digit terms, add the exponents. Now let's deal with division. Division is also simple. Here, divide the digit terms. And subtract the exponents. Divide the digit terms, subtract the exponents, or subtract the powers of 10. Subtract the powers of 10. Let's have one example. Let's take the example this way. Example is 4.4 into 10 to the power minus 3 divided by 2, which I'll write as 2.0 into 10 to the power plus 4. So this is the number given to do the division. 4.4 into 10 to the power minus 3, 2.0 into 10 to the power 4. Divide the digit terms, subtract the exponents. These are the rules which we have to follow. So it is 4.4 divided by 2.0. The power of term 4.4 is 10 to the power minus 3. Power given along with the 2.0 is 10 to the power plus 4. Now, first let us divide the number. 4.4 divided by 2.0 is 2.2. It is 2.2. Now power of 10. In the numerator I have 10 to the power minus 3. In the denominator I have 10 to the power 4, which when I take to the numerator it will become minus 4. So 10 to the power minus 3 and 10 to the power minus 4. So answer is 2.2 into 10 to the power minus 7. 2.2 into 10 to the power minus 7. So this is about the mathematical operations of a scientific notation. We have studied about addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So this is all about the scientific notation and the mathematical operations. Next let us study about one of the very important concept, that is significant figures. In this part 1 mark questions will come. Important concept for theory, that is for the board exam as well as for the competitive exams. Significant figures. You know, whenever we measure something, there will be uncertainty in measurement. So experimental measurements have uncertainty along with them. Normally in any measurement, last digit of the measurement is uncertain. Say for example, you go to the shop and you go to the grocery shop and you want to buy 1 kilogram sugar, 1 kg sugar. You know, they will weight in the digital balance. 1 kg sugar means you want 1000 grams of sugar. You want 1000 grams of sugar. But when it is measured, measurement may show 1000.2. See, this last digit you might have seen, this fluctuates. You might have observed in the shop, the last digit, once it shows 2, once it appears as 3, or it may appear as 1. So the weight of sugar may be 1000.1 gram or 100.2 grams. Last digit keep on fluctuating. Why? Because this last digit, one which is fluctuating, is uncertain. So in every measurement we will have uncertainty. Even though all the digits are certain digits, the last digit of measurement is generally uncertain. Now measurements include uncertain digit also. The certain digits along with the last uncertain digit is called significant figure. So significant figures is meaningful digits of measurement plus uncertain digit, that is one uncertain digit. So significant figures are all meaningful digits including one uncertain digit. Meaningful digits plus one uncertain digit is significant figures. How to find significant figures? Whenever numbers are given to you, whenever values are given to you, how will you tell how many significant figures are present in that value? There are some rules to count the significant figures. Let's now study rules to find the significant figures. What are the rules to find the significant figures? Few simple rules we have. First one is all non-zero digits are significant. All non-zero digits are significant. Leaving zeros, every non-zero digit is significant. Say for example, value given is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is one value given, this is one number given, one measurement given. Look at the measurement you have. The digits are 1, 2, 3, 4. There is no zero. All numbers or all digits are non-zero digits. How many non-zero digits are there? Count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this number has 4 significant figures. This number has 4 significant figures. Let's have one more number. Let's take 6.532. 6.532. See, here I have taken a number which has decimal point. But look at the number. All the zeros, all the numbers are non-zero digits. So, how many significant figures I have? 6, 5, 3, 2. Means totally I have 4 significant figures here also. There are 4 significant figures. Let's now take one more example. Let's now take 1.3795. Look at this. How many digits are there? Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 digits are there. All the 6 digits are non-zero digits. Hence, there are 6 significant figures. There are 6 significant figures. So, rule number 1 is all non-zero digits are significant. Rule number 2. All zeros in between non-zero digits are significant. So, rule number 2 is zeros in between non-zero digits are significant. Zeros which are present between non-zero digits are significant. Let's take examples. I'll take the number this way. 20067. So this is one number I have. There are non-zero digits. In between there are zeros. If zeros are between non-zero digits, they have significance. Let's count how many digits are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this value given has 5 significant figures. Value has 5 significant figures. Let's have one more example. 2.403 Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers are, 5 digits are there. So even this number has 5 significant figures. 5 significant figures. Let's have one more example. 305. Let me take this number. We have 2 non-zero digits. In between there is a 0. So totally I have 3 significant figures. So number of significant figures are 3. Number of significant figures are 3. There are 3 significant figures. So this is about rule number 2. Till now what did we study? All zeros are significant if they are present between non-zero digits, and all non-zero digits are significant. These are the 2 rules we studied. Now rule number 3. Rule number 3 is zeros on the right side are significant. Zeros on the right side are significant if there is decimal point only. So, zeros on the right side of non-zero digits are significant if there is a decimal point. If there is a decimal point, then zeros on the right side are significant. Zeros after a decimal point, zeros after a decimal point are also significant. Understand, students? Zeros on the right side of the non-zero digit are significant only if there is a decimal point, and zeros after decimal point are also significant. Let's have example. Let's have example 100. I have a number 100, 100. Here there is no decimal point. There is no decimal point. So if there is no decimal point, zeros on right side are not significant. So this number has only one significant figure. Only one significant figure. Why? Because there is no decimal point. If there is decimal point, then only zeros on the right are significant. Let me have another number 100.0. See, value of both the numbers are same. This is also 100, this is also 100. But number of significant figures vary, students. Here you have only one significant figure, but here you find a decimal point, and after decimal point there is a 0. So now number of significant figures vary. Zeros on the right side of non-zero digit are significant, and zeros after decimal point are also significant. So now count how many digits here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this number has 4 significant figures. 4 significant figures. So remember, students, zeros on the right side are significant only if there is decimal point, and zeros after decimal point are also significant. That is rule number 3. Next, let us take rule number 4. Zeros before a decimal point, zeros before a decimal point, or zeros on the left side of decimal point are not significant. They are not significant. They just indicate position of the decimal point. Zeros before decimal point just indicate the position of decimal point. They do not have any significance. Let's have example. 0.001203. Let's take this number. Zeros before decimal point are not significant, and one more thing is zeros before non-zero digit are also not significant. Zeros before decimal point are not significant, and zeros before non-zero digit are also not significant. Look at the number 0.001203. Here before non-zero digit you have 3 zeros. They do not have any significance. You can find a 0 between non-zero digits that has a significance. So let's have how many significant figures? This 0 insignificant, even this 0 is insignificant. 1 significant figure, 2 significant figure, 0 significant, 3 significant. That means I have 4 significant figures. I have 4 significant figures in this number. Let's have one more example. 0.0156. Look at this. 1 is a non-zero digit. Before that, whatever zeros are there, they don't have any significance. So, here, number of significant figures are 3. They are 1, 5, 6. Only 3 significant figures. There are only 3 significant figures in the number given. So, this is about rule number 4. Let's take rule number 5. Counting numbers of object have infinite significant figures. Counting numbers of object have infinite significant figures. They have infinite significant figures. Example, let's take 10 chocolates. See here, number of chocolates is counted. Counting numbers of any object have infinite significant figures. So here there are infinite significant figures. Let's have one more example. 12 bananas. Even this number has infinite significant figures. So counting numbers of any object have infinite significant figures. One more thing for your information, students. In a scientific notation, using digit term, significant figures are counted. Significant figures counted. Example, let's take 1.203 into 10 to the power 5. Here, don't look at the exponent, look at only the digit term. Digit term is 1.203. 1 significant, 2 is significant, 0 is in between non-zero digit, hence significant, 3 is significant. Hence you have 4 significant figures. 4 significant figures. So these are laws or rules to find the significant figures. Once let us summarize the rules. All non-zero digits are always significant. Rule number 2, zeros in between non-zero digits are significant. Rule number 3, zeros on the right side or zeros after non-zero digit are significant if there is decimal point, and zeros after decimal point are also significant. Rule number 4, zeros before decimal point not significant, zeros before non-zero digit are not significant. Counting numbers of any object have infinite significant figure, that is rule number 5. And one more rule, in scientific notation, by looking at the digit term, we can find out how many significant figures are present. So this is about the rules to find the significant figures. Next, let us study 2 terms, precision and accuracy, which are very, very important whenever we do the experiments in the lab or whenever we measure something. Any quantity whenever are measured, precision and accuracy are very, very important. What are they? Let us study now. So let's take up precision and accuracy. First let us study what is precision. First, let us know the definitions of precision and accuracy. Precision is a closeness of various measurements of a same quantity. Closeness of different measurements, various measurements of a same quantity, of a same quantity. What is it? Let us study by taking example. Now just know the definition. Precision means closeness of various measurements of a same quantity. One more term we use in experiments, that is accuracy. Accuracy. What is accuracy? Agreement of particular value to the true value. Agreement of particular value to true value or actual value. True value or actual value. This is accuracy. Now let's study what is it. Let's study. We are finding out mass of a substance. What we are doing is, we are finding out mass of a substance. We are measuring mass. We are measuring mass. Who and all are measuring? Student A is measuring, student B is measuring, student C is measuring. Hope you are getting it? Understand? Let's take it this way. We are measuring mass of a substance, or let me consider, we are measuring mass of chalk piece. Mass of chalk piece. We are finding out mass of chalk piece. Who and all are measuring? I am measuring the mass. Student A, student B, student C is measuring. Mass of a chalk piece measured by teacher is found that 2.01 gram. When teacher measured it, the value found is 2.01 gram. And that value is considered as true value. So this is the true value. Why? Because teacher is expert in experiments. Any measurement done by an expert is true value. When teacher measured mass of chalk piece, found that 2.01 gram is considered as a true value. Now let me consider student A measures. Student A measures. He measures it 3 times. First time he got value as 1.95 gram. Second time value got by him is 1.94 grams. Third time he got 1.96 grams. See, these are the measurements done by student A. Student A did the measurement. At that time he found the values. First time he got 1.95 gram, second time he got 1.94 gram, third time the value obtained is 1.96 gram. So these are the trials done by student A. Trial number 1, value 1.95 gram. Trial number 2, value is 1.94 gram. Trial number 3, value is 1.96 gram. Now let's say student B does the measurements. When student B does the measurement, he gets the value. First time 1.95 gram. Second time 1.90 gram. Next time 1.91 grams. He got these values. Now let's say student C does the measurements. He is also measuring the mass of chalk piece. First time value he got is 2.00 gram. Second time 1.99 gram. Third time 2.01 gram. See, these are the measurements done by student C. Teacher measured the mass, found at 2.01 grams, which is considered as true value. 3 students measured the mass of chalk piece 3 times. They got different values. Now let's compare the values obtained by student A. 1.95, 1.94, 1.96. Values are close. Values are close to each other, but these values are not close to the true value. Hope you are getting it. These values are close to each other, 1.95, 1.94, 1.96. The various measurements of same quantity are close, means values are precise. Values are precise because they are close to each other. Measurements are close to each other, hence values are precise. But these values are not close to the true value. If the values are close to the true value, then only they are accurate. So these are precise but not accurate. Values are precise but not accurate. So student A measured the values. The 3 measurements were close. Closeness of various measurements of same quantity is precision. Means values are precise. But no value from here is close to the value obtained by a teacher or a true value, hence not accurate. Now let's take student B values. 1.95 gram, 1.90 gram, 1.91 gram. Values are not close. See, 1.95 to 1.90, 4-digit difference is there. 0.04 is error. So values are not close. Just look at the values, compare with the true value. Whether any one of the measured value is close to the true value? No. That means the various measurements are not close. Even no value is close to the true value. Means values are neither precise nor accurate. Values are neither precise nor accurate. But take student C values. What do you find? 2.00, 1.99, 2.01 gram. These are the 3 different measurements we have. The student is good. The values what he measured are close to each other, and value he measured is close to the true value also. That means values are precise as well as accurate. Values are precise as well as accurate. Please understand, students, whatever values measured for the same measurement different times, if they are close, then values are precise, and that is called as precision. If among the measured values at least one, if it is close to the true value or actual value, then we call it as accuracy. Whenever we do experiments, whenever we do measurements, our values must be precise and accurate. If your values are not precise, that means you are not doing the experiment in a proper manner. Your method is not correct. If your value is not accurate, then you will lose the marks in the practicals, because it is very important in practicals that your values must be close to each other, and also at least one of the value must be close to the true value. Then only it's understood that you are measuring the quantity in a proper manner. You know the proper methodology to measure the quantity. So it is very, very important to have precise and accurate values. Precise and accurate values whenever we do any measurements for any quantity. So precision and accuracy means a lot in practicals or measurements. So here, for exam point of view, you should know the definition for the precision and accuracy. Now next let us deal with rounding off. You all know the rounding off. You have used this to round off the numbers. So next let us study about rounding off. Why we have to round off? Rounding off must be done to limit the significant figures in the answer of any measurement. So now we are studying about rounding off. Rounding off is done to limit the number of significant figures. Number of significant figures. To do this, we have to round off the answer we obtain during calculation. What are the rules which have to be followed to round off the numbers? Rule number 1. If the last digit to be removed is greater than 5. If the last digit to be removed is greater than 5, then previous digit is increased by 1. It is increased by 1. If the last digit to be removed is greater than 5, previous digit is increased by 1. Let's have example. Let's take example 6.546. This is the number I have, 6.546. Here, last digit to be removed, I'll underline it. This is the last digit to be removed. Means I have to remove 6, which is greater than 5. If the last digit to be removed is more than 5, you add the previous digit by 1. So, this is rounded off as, it is rounded off as 6.55. Before rounding off, I had 4 significant figures. 1, 2, 3, 4. After rounding off, I have 3 significant figures. I have decreased the number of significant figures. I have limited the number of significant figures. To do that, I have done rounding off. If the last digit to be removed is more than 5, previous digit is added by 1. Rule number 2. If the last digit to be removed is less than 5, then previous digit is retained as it is. It is retained as it is. No change is done. Let's have example. 6.544. In this number, I have 4 significant figures. 6, 5, 4, 4. There are 4 significant figures. Last digit to be removed, I'll underline, that is 4, which is less than 5. So if this digit is removed, previous digit is kept as it is. So this is rounded off as 6.54. 6.54. Now rule number 3. If the last digit to be removed is equal to 5, then previous digit is added by 1, is increased by 1. If it is odd number, if it is odd number, and if the last digit to be removed is equal to 5, then previous digit is retained as such. If it is even number, if the previous digit is odd number and digit to be removed is equal to 5, previous digit is added by 1. If the previous digit is even number and last digit to be removed is equal to 5, then it is kept as it is. Let's have example. 6.555. 6.55. Here last digit to be removed is 5. Previous digit is odd number. Hence previous digit is increased by 1. And this number is rounded off as 6.56. 6.56. Let's have another example. 6.545. 6.545. Last digit to be removed is 5. Previous digit is even number. Then the previous digit is kept as it is. Hence a number after rounding off becomes 6.54. So these are the rules you have to follow whenever you want to limit the significant figures, for which you can do rounding off. Last digit to be removed is greater than 5, previous digit is added by 1. Last digit to be removed, if it is less than 5, previous digit is kept as it is. If the last digit to be removed is equal to 5, previous digit is increased by 1 if that previous digit is odd number. And if the previous digit is even number, the previous digit is kept as it is. So all these are the rounding off rules. By using this, let's do mathematical operations, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. We shall learn about these things in the next class. Thank you.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.